Good evening and welcome to The Big Story, where we discuss the hottest topics of the day. I'm Dylan, coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. Now, Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam was all set to make her third policy address today in the Legislative Council, but she was cut short twice by heckling pro-democracy lawmakers. Now, as a result of being unable to make her State of the Union address, she had to resort to making it via a video feed. In her speech, the embattled leader called on the people of Hong Kong to end their pessimism and rebuild the city with a can-do spirit. Now, joining us live from Hong Kong is Straits Times correspondent Claire Huang. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Dylan.
Hey, Claire. So now, SCMP said prior to the address that it was going to be a make or break speech for Mrs. Lam. Now, tell us a bit about how, did she manage to seize the occasion to save the city?
Okay, first of all, I think this is an important speech, clearly, because the protests have been going on for about 4 months, 4.5 months, 19 weeks. And so she needs to inspire people and perhaps change the course of events, but that ship has sailed. So that make or break point was weeks ago. So I think everybody has low expectations. They have expectations. They're hoping, and they have low expectations of Mrs. Carrie Lam's policy address. And as such, knowing more or less her track record, which is, despite having a reputation as someone capable as a civil servant, she's not quite a leader. So it's never been a make or break speech. Saving Hong Kong from the unrest that stems from a political crisis and the inaction of a government that has shown inability to lead requires huge concessions that Mrs. Lam has said she will not accept or will not carry out. We have been told at her press conference earlier that any solution to the social unrest cannot deviate from the very principles that keeps Hong Kong going, which are the adherence to one country, two systems principle and the rule of law, as well as the sanctity of Hong Kong's institutions. So as far as she is concerned, many of the protesters' demands, such as amnesty for those arrested, dropping the charges, are something she cannot consider.
Right. Now, Claire, it's been several hours since Mrs. Lam gave her speech. What has some of the reactions been like from the public?
Now, the bulk of her speech was about housing and land supply, where she spoke of measures to take back land, build more public housing and so on. So she briefly touched on education and economy, but didn't quite offer that many specifics, right? So I think it says a lot when even pro-government lawmakers expressed their disappointment in the speech because they were expecting her to be a leader. Now, one of the biggest pro-government groups, DAB's chairwoman Starry Lee, calls it conservative, procrastinating blueprint, saying there's a lack of concrete measures. Now, people want to know what plans and how Mrs. Lam is going to quell the unrest, but nothing was offered, says Lee. So Executive Council member Regina Ip says that it's natural Mrs. Lam was not able to address fundamental problems with Hong Kong's economic development, which is the erosion of competitiveness, because she has to handle the unrest. Meanwhile, Liberal Party welcomes some of the measures, but says more can be done to help smaller businesses. So if this is what the pro-government folks are saying, you can imagine and you can expect opposition lawmakers to basically tear apart her speech, and they're not going to be happy with it.
Right, I see. All right, thanks so much, Claire, for giving us some updates on the situation in Hong Kong. Of course, thanks again, Claire, for joining us. And do keep yourself safe while you report for us. Now, you can always head on down to our website if you would like to see more and keep abreast with all the latest developments in Hong Kong. So thanks once again, Claire.